Welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney. It's episode 130 here for the Pioneer Sideline, longest running show here on UView, and we're going to jump right into it. I mentioned we're going to talk some volleyball. We're going to go right into it. The AMC tournament held right here on the campus in the Student Center Gymnasium, taking place Tuesday, November 8th, and it was Point Park in their first round matchup, starting at 12 o'clock, first serve, taking on Carlow University, just up, making the quick trip down from Oakland to take on Point Park University in the first edition here for the highlights. And you can see the Pioneers getting started off. A shot. Pugliese, a nice set. Bridget Jones going to finish up for Point Park Pioneers. Then you come right back. Pugliese again, this time to Brittany Lota, bringing the pain off the deflection. It goes out. Point Park up, wins the first set, 25-17. Second set now. Oberacker doing her thing. Little touch, going to float right in there. Carlow can't handle it. Point Park up early on. Amanda Ardinger this time with the ace. Just fooled the Carlow defense there. Nothing they could do on that one. Set point now, Wurtzel going to get the kill on that one. That ends at Pioneers 25-6. Absolute domination up until this point. Go to the third set. More of the same. Wurtzel going to get set up again for the kill. Pioneers up big, and you'll see match point coming up here for Point Park. And it's who else? None other than Lindsay Oberacker going to throw down for Point Park. That's it. Point Park wins 3-0 in sets, straight sets, 25-17, 25-6, 25-8. Point Park advances to the second round. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Teresa Davis, our volleyball analyst on set. And Teresa, just more of what we expect from Point Park in that first round. You said they would take the tournament, got the first game.
I did say that, Aaron. I think the game against Carlow was not much competition as expected. They came in close game, the first game, with a score of 25-17. But then they really kicked it in gear. They rolled over them the next two games, 25-6, 25-8, like you said. As we look at Point Park's conversion rate, they had a well over 500%, opposed to Carlow's 0.042%. I really think they just wanted to blast through this game to get to Damon.
And they could really show their dominance in this one, and Carlow didn't have a chance. Point Park took them out twice already early on in the season. And Teresa, the big thing, or big key you can look at here is just the Pioneers' depth down that line. And Bridget Jones stepped in. She had 8 kills, and Point Park is able to call in whoever they need off the bench to fill in a role.
Absolutely. They do have a lot of depth on the team. Like you said, Bridget Jones came in with 8. You see her sometimes having a high game, sometimes having a low game. But it's the key that they can call to anyone down the line that can go in for them.
Now, they would win the first matchup, as we said, at noon. Damon took on Roberts Wesleyan at 2 o'clock, right after Point Park finished up with Carlow. Damon would win that game, so championship match is set for the AMC Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. We were there. Let's take you to the highlights for that one as Point Park looks to win their first ever AMC tournament. They've been close before and lost 2 years ago to Walsh, but Point Park was looking to get it up big here, and you could see Brittany Lota early on for the Pioneers getting the points. Carlow would make a little bit of a run, and see that one just falls in for Damon, and they would keep it close. But Point Park, Lindsay Oberacker off the left outside there, making things happen for Point Park. They would take the first set. Second set now, it's a lot of Damon trying to get back in this game. You see the tip falls right down. Point goes to Damon. Point Park looking to come back. You see the spike coming down. Could not handle that one as Damon, so Point Park gets the point, and the second set was a lot closer than we would expect. There, Damon again teeing him up, and they would actually win the second set, tie things up 1-1. Point Park now looking to get back into it. Pugliese can't dig that one out. Point goes to Damon. Point Park now gets it across, and there's that little tip from for Pugliese just to get it across. Point Park setting up again, and you can see there, you see Nicole Wurtzel setting up or scoring big for Point Park University. The crowd is up into it, and they're looking to see their Point Park Pioneers advance and take their first AMC tournament championship. But Damon had other plans. They get the point there, and then Point Park serving again. Damon's going to set it up, and you'll see get the point again as Point Park couldn't handle that one. But Point Park would battle back, get the setup here, and down right in the middle, it's Brittany Lota hooking up for Point Park University. And then again, Pioneers again drilling one down in front of the Damon defense. They just could not handle that. Pioneers now looking to keep in. You see the nice play by Damon to keep the ball alive, but Point Park sets up one more time, drills it home. Point Park would win the set, and there you can see the emotion as pandemonium strikes the court. Point Park wins their first ever AMC tournament title, and that's a happy bunch of campers there as they surround themselves around the trophy for the AMC. Point Park would advance into the next game. It would be the unaffiliated group championship match that would also take place on Point Park soil. Point Park with the win, 3-1. Point Park on the season finishing 35-5 after the AMC title match. And Teresa Davis, I mean, what did you see in this matchup? Point Park again just keeps rolling.
Well, this was their first conference win. It's exciting. They were emotional, but it was Damon who was the second ranked team in that conference besides Walsh. So to beat them, they were similarly matched. The stat totals came out very alike, and Damon had really good defense. They had 62 total digs, and that prevented our usual hitting percentage. But nonetheless, they pulled it out. They were very focused, and I'd like to mention Lindsay Oberacker, who had a huge double-double with 18 kills and 12 digs. But with those 18 kills, she tipped off the day, reaching the 500 mark of kills, and she now has a career high of 526 kills, and that's a true leader on that team.
That's huge, and we would actually hear from her later on coming up. And really, you just saw the killer instinct from Point Park. I mean, they would go down, lose the second set 16-25, but Point Park just storming right back like no other.
Absolutely. They knew they had to win. They knew they could win, and they wanted to win. So as soon as they reached 16, which is one of the lowest scoring we've seen the Pioneers score this year, they knew they came out firing. The next two, 25-21, both games, but you saw them with a firing attitude, and they pulled it out.
Big win for the Point Park Pioneers, and as I mentioned, they would go on to the unaffiliated championship match. That would give them the winner a berth into the NAIA tournament. Teresa Davis, stick around. We're going to take a quick commercial break and go right into those highlights right around the corner, so stick around and see how Point Park fares.